Dang it. We're going to go win the Super Bowl, guys. We're going to go win the Super Bowl with Jake Browning or AJ McCarron. Do people not learn from history? You know the mentality, you don't learn from history and history repeats itself. In the 2021 NFL season, after Joe Burrow went down with, his ACL the year before, everyone said the Bengals have 0% chance to go to the Super Bowl. 0% chance going into that season. They're not going to go there. Joe's not even going to last another year. He's not going to play. He's going to be hurt. Everything's going to go downhill for him. It's just going to keep going downhill. And they doubted us. We went to the Super Bowl, and sadly we came one drive away from winning the Super Bowl. And a phantom holding call against Logan Wilson. Beside the point. They doubt us. And if you know anything about the Cincinnati Bengals, they are not the best team in history, okay? They're not. But when they are doubted, they are one of the best teams in history. For some reason, when people doubt us, it's like, the Grinch's heart grows 6 times that day. We go 1,000 times that day when it comes to our pure dominance. So we have Jake Browning moving forward, right? Or AJ McCarron, whoever they go with, right? Terry Bradshaw last night. Now, keep in mind, Terry Bradshaw was a Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback for the longest time. He is a Hall of Famer for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is actually the reason why they have 6 rings. A lot of people like, the Steelers have 6 rings. Ben was so great. Ben, now. Okay, stop it. Ben won, I believe, 2 rings with them. Terry Bradshaw won 4. Okay? Terry Bradshaw is the reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers have their crazy success and crazy amazing Super Bowls, right? Ben is so great. Don't get me wrong. Ben Roethlisberger is so great quarterback. But at the end of the day, it's like, it comes down to Terry Bradshaw, right? Now, Terry Bradshaw, he's a little bit older up there in age. I mean, we could see this is kind of reminds me of someone when you go to, it's like someone who's in a special home, right? If you know what I mean. And like, they're like, oh, back in my day, I was throwing touchdown passes. Like, they're just kind of delusional, right? And that's kind of where Terry Bradshaw is at this moment in time. But here's what Terry Bradshaw said on Sunday Night Football, which I think is hilarious, right? Because this is why we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. He said, boldly, I don't expect them to win any of those games. And he said that we are pretty much finished. So he says he doesn't expect us to win any game moving forward. We are pretty much finished. Which Michael Strahan was flabbergasted and said, hey, what are you talking about? Any? Can't win one of them? Like, what are you talking about? Okay, when I saw 51-year-old, I'm like, you are not telling me that. No, Terry Bradshaw's not 51. He's like 95. He's like 105. Bradshaw, they replied comically, they can. I said they won't. So he's saying we won't win any game moving forward. Not that we can't. That we won't. Oh, man. I don't know why people don't understand. Listen, the way to defeat the Bengals is just say that we're going to win all the games. That's the way to beat us. Just say we're going to win. Just say we're going to win. And then we'll probably go 500. That's kind of how it works, right? Going into the season, everyone's like, oh, the Bengals are going to be great. They're going to be one of the best teams in football. They're going to do amazing, blah, blah, blah. We started off slow. We started off bad. I guarantee you going into the season, if everyone said, hey, the Bengals are going to go 0-6 starting off the season, they're going to be the worst team in football, we would do amazing. 6-0, right? Look at, we started off, 0-2. People wrote us off. You're done. You're done. It's over. You guys aren't winning anymore. We won 4 straight. Actually, sorry, my bad. We won 1, lost 1, and then won 3 straight. I don't know what it is other than the fact of the underdog mentality is a real thing. And people think it's a joke or think, oh yeah, I mean, the underdog mentality only goes so far. It is like Harry Potter's magic wand with this Bengal squad. When you give us the doubt, when you give us the we can't do it, we just hit you back with yes, we can. So let's talk about this, because this week we play the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have a great defense, but we just saw yesterday that DTR, a rookie quarterback who really has almost zero game experience other than playing the Ravens in week 3 and getting absolutely demolished, winning against the Steelers without Nick Chubb, right? With a great dominant defense, don't get me wrong, but they beat them 13-10. You cannot tell me we cannot beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, even with Jake Browning or AJ McCarron. I don't care what someone has to say. If you're telling me Jake Browning's going to get a full week with the number ones to really process up and get good, there is 0% chance you can tell me we can't beat Pittsburgh. I think we could easily beat Pittsburgh. And I think, again, I'm not saying we're going to beat the Chiefs, and I'm going to tell you right now, with Jake Browning or AJ McCarron, we're not going to beat the Chiefs. Now, if we do beat the Chiefs, listen, if we beat the Chiefs, I will selling a Jake Browning shirt that's revolved around beating the Chiefs, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, if Jake Browning beats the Chiefs, or AJ McCarron, let alone, I'm going to start selling a shirt about that. But I think we'll lose to the Chiefs, right? Going through this list here, I think we'll lose to the Jags with AJ McCarron or Jake Browning, right? But you're telling me these other games aren't winnable? You gotta be kidding me. These games are winnable. Well, yes, don't get me wrong, they're not going to be easy. And no, none of these games will be easy. But when you start doubting us, you start saying there's a 0% chance, you're not doing it. All you're doing, you're literally countering the point that you're trying to make. Like, Terry Bradshaw is not a Bengals fan. He's a lifelong Hall of Fame Steeler, right? He hates us. He hates us, obviously. It's like not Cowherd. It's like, oh, what's the guy's name? He's an announcer. He used to be their head coach before Tomlin. Is it Cowherd? No, that's Colin Cowherd. It starts with a C, bro. I know what this is. Steelers head coach, announcer. Bill Cowherd. Yeah, it is Cowherd. It's Bill Cowherd. And by the way, just shout out here. It did not actually tell me. I just remembered it as I typed that in. Yeah, Bill Cowherd. Bill Cowherd? Bill Cower. I'm sorry. Long day. Anyway, now it's like 11:54 in the morning. Last thing. Oh yeah. He hates us, so he's gonna root against us, right? They're all gonna root against us. But that's when we play our best football. If you want us to lose, just sit there and say, "Oh no, the Bengals are gonna lose. I mean, the Bengals are gonna win these games. They're gonna probably make the playoffs. Say we're gonna win the Super Bowl, and we'll lose the rest of our games. So we'll beat the Steelers. We're gonna beat the Colts. Stop playing. We're gonna beat the Vikings. The Broncos just beat them last night. I think we're better than the Broncos with Jake Browning. I think, honestly, we are. The Broncos in that game kicked 5 field goals and scored a touchdown in the very last second of the game. This is going to be the tough one. I'll be honest with you. In Pittsburgh, that's going to be a tough one. It's not going to be easy. But if we can win these games and we beat Pittsburgh, it will come down to the final game of the season at Cleveland. Again, that's going to be almost impossible. I'm sorry, no, this is in Cincy. It's going to be almost impossible, but it's in Cincy. If you told me this was in Cleveland, I say there's not a shot in the darkest levels of hell. Okay, there was 0% chance we're going to beat with a backup quarterback in Cincy in Cleveland versus one of their best defenses of all time, a really good offense that's getting going. I think we can beat them with a backup quarterback in Cleveland. Okay, I'm not saying any of these wins here are going to be good, crazy, amazing wins. They're not going to be. I promise you that. But they're going to be the ugliest, the disgustingest, the absolutely foulest wins on human earth. But we can do it. And again, if we have things go our way outside of this, like, we could go to the playoffs. I'm not saying we're going to go far in the playoffs. I'm not saying that at all. There's a very good chance we don't go far in the playoffs, especially not with, Joe Burrow being out. But Eagles beat the Bills. Is that not logical? I'm just going to go through games that are logical to me, okay? Jags, Texans. Can you tell me the Jags cannot beat the Texans? I think the Jags can beat the Texans. Browns, Broncos. We actually need the Browns to win, ironically enough. Because the Broncos now are getting too big for their britches. They're getting too big for the britches now. Browns. Okay? Now going down this list. Cardinals, Steelers. Do you tell me the Cardinals can't beat the Steelers now with Kyler Murray back in? They just lost to the Browns. Broncos, Texans. I'm gonna leave that one there because that game could be controversial on who could win that game. Controversial. I mean, even then, I mean, the Chargers suck, man. The Chargers are not doing good. But Jets, Texans. I'll leave that. Browns, Jags. I think Jags can win that game. Chiefs, Bills. I think the Chiefs can win that game. You know, and I'm just going off games that I think could happen, okay? It's not 100%, but these are games that could go our favor. Lions could beat the Broncos. Bears, Browns. Steelers, Colts. I think the Steelers could beat the Colts. Texans, Titans. Give me the Titans. That's a 98% chance to make the playoffs. Again, guys, I'm not going to sit here and tell you we're going to make the playoffs 1,000%. We're not. But for people like, you know, what's his name? Terry Bradshaw to sit there and say, we're done. It's over, right? We're not, I mean, he said we're not going to win a single game, right? But for those who say we're not going to make the playoffs at all, it's over. Listen, the sad part is we could still make the playoffs, and there's a chance we'll still make the playoffs. And why I say this, the reason why I say this is a sad thing is, right, is because us making the playoffs gives us a worse draft pick. It also gives us a harder schedule next year. So overall, it's worse for us to make the playoffs, right? It is worse for us to make the playoffs in the grand scheme of thing because it hurts us in every way possible other than going a one and done in the playoffs. But when you doubt us and you say we can't do it, we have the schedule that is not impossible to go do it. Even if we lose to Cleveland in all last week. Even if we lose to, that we split with the Steelers. Like, we split with the Steelers. It's still not impossible to go do it. Like, this is, again, you know, I find it funny because, like, by doubting us, all they're doing is proving that, yeah, it's actually very liable / possible that this could happen. 1,000%. It's very liable, like, very, it's very possible. That's all I saw. I don't know. I was just speaking nonsense, apparently. Very possible that this could happen, right? I'm not saying it will happen 1,000%, but even 8 and 9, if things go correctly, we could make the playoffs. And again, I will say this again. I don't want to make the playoffs in the aspect of, unless we're going to go there and win a Super Bowl, which I don't think we can with a backup quarterback, I would not do it. You know, I'm doubting us, so now we're going to go win the Super Bowl, right? But I wouldn't do it in the aspect of, like for, it's going to hurt us in the long run. But to say we can't do it is just simply is simply not true. It's simply not true to say we can't do it. We have a 100% chance to make the playoffs at 8 and 9, with us losing the Jags, Steelers, Chiefs, and Browns game. If we win 3 games moving forward, and what I have here listed works out, we're going to make the playoffs, 100%. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that 1,000% it's going to happen, okay? I can't tell you that, right? I can't tell you 1,000% I want it to happen, just because for our future, it would be better for certain situations to happen the opposite way, right? But when you sit there, not you guys, but when Terry Bradshaw sits there and says the 0% chance not gonna win another game, you gotta learn from history. You gotta learn from who we are as a team, who we are as a franchise, and who we are as, you know, an entity. We are a team that thrives on doubts. We are a team that thrives on you hating us. You saying we can't do it. When you say that, oh man, we really prove wrong. And by the way, shout out to the fact yesterday was my birthday, by the way, and I got the best birthday gift of all time. So from now on, every single game moving forward, I will be drinking out of my Cincinnati Bengals mug. Shout out to the NFL shop, by the way, because apparently they sell these, and they are crazy expensive. But I got it for my birthday, and I didn't spend the money, so I'm good. Peace out, guys.